I would say our bread and butter kind of cases are pro-lifers that are on the street, in the trenches, so to speak, and they are the mild-mannered, they are gentle, they are compassionate, and they are persistent. And that persistence will sometimes get you in trouble with folks that want to see really the kind of sacred cow of abortion go forward undisturbed.
Pastor GRIEPP and his family became involved about 5 years before this case in having a presence on Saturday mornings at this clinic because they realized that this clinic is killing their neighborhood children and they wanted to do something about it. The Attorney General, though, being beholden to this very large, very wealthy abortion clinic and its operator, undertook this 1.5-year-long undercover investigation, spent undoubtedly millions of dollars on it, put secret video cameras on neighboring buildings and light poles and up on the parapets, wired investigators for sound and video, posing them as people coming and going from the clinic and their partners. And after 1.5 years of that, brought these allegations that our people were engaging in atrocious things. But we decided to talk to them instead, which is always a smart thing. And it didn't take long talking to the GRIEPPs to figure out that these people are golden and nothing in that complaint was true. So that's where we embarked upon this case.
A lot of people who are fervent religious believers run into trouble when they stand up and speak out and demonstrate against what they find to be fundamental injustice. Our job over the years has been to stand up and defend those people, protect their rights, and we're finding that we have a lot of opportunities to do that.
I remember it was back in June of 2017. I was here late into the evening, sitting here all alone, and somehow I became aware, I found this press release put out by Eric Schneiderman, who was then the Attorney General of the state of New York, announcing that he had filed a federal lawsuit based on the federal FACE statute, FACE, Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act. And he'd filed this against a bunch of sidewalk counselors. And I read the press release, and it was full of accusations of threats and violence and blockading. And they had a link to the complaint. And I opened the complaint and I read the complaint. More allegations of threats, violence and blockading, violations of the law. And they had a link to a video, and I watched the short video. And I didn't see any violations of the law, and I thought that's probably the best they have. And if that's the best they have, here we come.
My name is Ken GRIEPP. I'm pastor of Church at the Rock. Our ministry to unborn children, part of it is out in front of abortion clinics that we've done for the past 10 years. We are out there so that we can love and appeal to these people going in so that they can see there's another choice, and that is life. It's a beautiful choice.
Came to our attention about 4 years ago that the state of New York had brought a lawsuit against us in the midst of what we were doing. And as we were out on the street ministering to women, going out week to week, and we're on the street, we're sharing the gospel. Some of the supporters of the clinic outside, they would start dancing, they would start playing music. And then we just saw the slight persecution continue to increase as they started to call the cops. And then they started to get the FBI involved and see how they can try to get rid of us.
The Attorney General of the state of New York didn't think we were free to be out there or didn't want us to exercise our freedom. So they fabricated violations of the law. We're obstructing people. We are causing people harm. We are harassing them. And none of that was being done.
As you can imagine, it was hard. And the phone rang again, and I received a call thinking it was another reporter. And the voice on the other end was just so wonderful, actually. And it was Andy Bath from the Thomas More Society. He introduced himself, and his words were, "I think you may be able to use our help."
When they came to visit us for the first time, and we had the team gathered, and they were talking with us, and they were going through, just as one of the team members said earlier, you know, they took us through every step. They said, this is what you're going to face, this is what you're going to experience, and this is what we have done in the past, and this is what we're going to do. It is going to work.
Thomas More Society was an answer to our prayers. I mean, they are amazing. Our lawyers, I mean, wow, amazing. They spent countless hours with us, you know, talking with us. I mean, just explaining the whole process.
We just love them so much. We appreciate them beyond measure. Our specific attorneys who went with us, you know, through all those weeks, they're family. They have meant something to us that it's indescribable.
Thomas More was a godsend. It was a true godsend. We were so grateful for the relationships we built with them, for their willingness to serve us in this capacity, for all that they did in the countless hours of service. And Thomas More decided to come, and it's bringing themselves into the fire with us. They're coming into the fire with us as we walk together, and it is thrilling to see people of God standing with us as we go through the trials, literally, figuratively, of life in looking to God.
Well, this case in particular we have to win, because if we lose it, it's going to be replicated nationwide, and it will essentially shut down sidewalk advocacy.
The law has always, in the past, had a profound respect. And if you can't say things that are disagreeable, then the First Amendment really doesn't mean much. And at the end of the day, that's what this case is about.
To look at what would have happened here had Schneiderman's allegations been unopposed and his prayer for relief been granted. The sidewalk around that clinic is 16 feet wide. The public right-of-way goes from the curb to the wall of the building. And of course, it's a wide public sidewalk. Had he been able to get what he wanted, they would have been utterly excluded from the sidewalk on both sides of the building. So all of New York can walk up and down those sidewalks, but our people would have been unable to do so. It would have completely shut down their ministry. And their ministry is important. They have story after story after story of women and children they have saved. There are babies running up and down the center aisle of that church on Sunday that spring from that sidewalk. You can't have that happen in a world full of Eric Schneidermans unless it's a world full of Thomas More.